Man, it's been a rough one for Nintendo. I'm surprised to see, like, this has taken the entire internet by storm, and everyone has been freaking out at Nintendo, and rightfully so. So, for those of you who did not see my last video, let me catch you up to speed real quick. In my last video, I was talking about how I am no longer interested in the Nintendo Switch 2, and I was talking about how they have pulled some anti-consumer moves with the Nintendo Switch 2, and it seems like a lot of people are getting genuinely angry with Nintendo over the last few days, and rightfully so. It seems like this backlash towards Nintendo is only getting even worse, and honestly, it's good to see all of these people speak out against Nintendo, especially because in today's dark ages of modern gaming, where these corporate companies just can get away with nearly everything from like increasing the price point, releasing unfinished games, releasing live service games that nobody wants, and now we're at the point where Nintendo is basically making the big push towards $80 in the gaming industry. You thought that $70 was a big ask for a lot of people? You thought $70 was a bit too much? Oh, Nintendo took it a step further and they basically just said, hold up here, watch this. And then Nintendo face planted onto the concrete ground, and they expect people to seriously buy $80 to $90 video games. I'm sorry, but there's no way in hell I'm wasting my money on $80 to $90 video games. Hell, I'm not even gonna buy a video game that's worth even $100 freaking dollars. Because at this point, with the confirmed news of Nintendo making $80 digital games and physical copies $90, like, I'm sorry, but there's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to afford something like that. I mean, why the hell would I want to waste my money on $80 to $90 video games when I know for a fact I'm just not gonna be interested in them? You know what I'm saying? You thought that $70 was bad enough. $80 to $90 for video games for the average consumer? It's just gonna make people not want to buy video games anymore, and it's just gonna push away the customers even more to the point where they don't even want to buy video games or outright play them because gaming is just starting to get way more expensive. I mean, take a look at some of these comments from like Nintendo's comment section, for example. Like, take a look at this. So if we look at the comment section here, you can see people are shouting, please drop the prices. And if we scroll down through the comment section, I think this was during one of Nintendo's live streams actually, you can see so many people just baffled at $80 and they're basically yelling at Nintendo, drop the prices. And as we keep scrolling down, it just keeps getting worse and worse. People are just saying drop the prices. Now, look, it's amazing to see so many people just stand up against Nintendo and call them out for their corporate greed, which, good. I mean, you, as the average consumer, should be doing stuff like this. Like, hey, this is not okay. This is anti consumer, and I don't like it. It's good to see people yelling at these corporate companies, just telling them, hey, what the hell are you doing? But with all seriousness, do you think these companies are going to listen to you? Do you really think that they're just going to listen to your feedback when it comes to words? Now look, the if you really want to send a message to these companies, there's only one language that they understand. And I think this is a language that most of us can agree on. Corporate companies like Nintendo, they only understand money. And you know how to communicate with Nintendo? Speak with your wallets and tell them, no, I am not buying this shit and I'm not supporting this shit. Just full send commit to a boycott if you have to. That is the only way you're going to get these companies to listen to you. It's the only way. If you really want companies like Nintendo to listen to you, like I said, vote with your wallets and tell them no and actually commit to it. Actions do speak louder than words here. I mean, look at me, for example, and I'm going to bring this up as an example too. I haven't played or bought any Call of Duty games in like the last 3 years. I literally made a video a few years ago talking about how I was done with the Call of Duty franchise for good. And from that point, I still did not buy a newer Call of Duty game because Activision is so bad and so brain dead with their franchise. They just have no idea how to make a good quality product anymore. And because I didn't like their quality of their product, Call of Duty, I just boycotted the entire franchise going forward. And I still didn't buy any of the newer Call of Duty games. I still did not buy Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3's reboot, and I still did not buy Black Ops 6, which I was right about, by the way, especially because that game, with all of its microtransactions, are just so overpriced and so terrible. I just did not care enough for the franchise anymore, especially with the direction that Call of Duty's gone down. Now, you might be wondering, well, Nightwing, what does any of this have to do with Nintendo? The fact that Nintendo is trying to overprice these games going forward with Mario Kart World, $80 to $90, there's just no way I'm going to be buying this, because that in itself is just a big ask. Like, there's no way the average consumer can drop like $80 to $90 on said video game simply because we just can't afford it. I mean, a lot of people think $70 is still too much, and here we are with now $80 to $90 and possibly $100 at this point, if we include like the special edition of video games. At this point, I think that anybody with a brain can clearly see that, yep, these games are overpriced, their console is overpriced. I'm not buying this. I'm just going to save my money and just go to PC. Like, at this point, I would argue to even say that Nintendo is overpricing this stuff. Especially because what makes this even more scummy is the fact that Nintendo was hiding these prices during the direct. Because usually when a new console or like a new game gets revealed, they usually show like the prices. But during this entire direct, they didn't even do that. They didn't even show the price point of their consoles or their video games. So it makes me think like this was just like not only an anti-consumer move, but it was also a scumbag move by Nintendo because they knew that they would get some serious backlash for this, and rightfully so, because they were hiding prices on consumers and they knew that if they found out that people would get angry. At this point, man, like I've already said earlier in this video, the only way you're going to get these companies to listen is by voting with your wallets and telling them straight up, no, I'm not supporting this. This is anti-consumer and this is a scumbag move by you, Nintendo, and commit to what you say. Actions do speak louder than words. And if you actually stick with your guns and actually commit to this boycott and not give Nintendo a penny, then these companies will be forced to listen to their customers and they'll be forced to actually drop the prices. That's the only way you're going to get these companies to listen to you. That's the only way. They can only speak in money language, so if they don't get money, then they're going to be forced to listen to their customers. So speak with your wallets and boycott Nintendo's product. That's the only way you're going to get these companies to listen to you. Especially because now, because of this big move from Nintendo, other companies are going to follow in suit as well. They're going to follow the exact same path that Nintendo's doing. They're going to think that, oh, hey, Nintendo's charging $80 to $90 for their video games now. Well, let's follow in Nintendo's footsteps, and we're going to increase the prices of our video games as well. And you would think companies like Activision and EA and Ubisoft, you think that they care about the customer? No. If they see any corporate greed along the way, they're gonna take it. Like, if they see one company increase the prices of their games, chances are other companies will follow suit. It's like the whole monkey see, monkey do situation all over again, where if one company does one thing, all other companies will follow that exact same trend. If one company does one thing other corporate companies like, those companies will listen to what other companies are doing and they'll see what they're doing and then they'll try to implement it in their own way and try to make money their own way. At this point, with all of the anti consumer moves going on and with just the massive price hikes going on, I'm genuinely scared for the future of the gaming industry going forward. $70, that whole train wreck didn't last that long because now we got another train wreck coming along. $80 to $90, if not $100 at this point. Man, what a crappy time to be a gamer. It's sad, man, to see the gaming industry just get plunged into this dark age of modern gaming even further. It's sad to see how much the game industry has fallen over the years. If there's one thing I know about the gaming industry, it's that when gamers finally had enough and they finally hit their breaking point, they finally get all their group of friends and all these other communities of people that play video games to come together and they say, you know what, screw it. It's time that we all take a stand against these corporations and it's time that we demand that they take our feedback seriously. And if they don't listen to us, then they're not getting our money and we're going to make these companies suffer for it. So at this point, it's time that we all grab our torches and it's time that we grab our pitchforks and maybe some cotton candy, because, I mean, we do get hungry after rioting. But with all seriousness, I think it's time that we come together as a gaming community and we basically tell Nintendo, hey, we're not putting up with this shit. We're going to make our stand until you lower the prices. And if you don't lower the prices of the Switch 2 or your games, then we're not going to buy them and we're going to have your company suffer for it in sales. So, at this point, we might as well just come together and force Nintendo to drop the prices. And if they don't, and they're going to continue to defend their actions of being anti-consumer, and they're going to continue to defend the $80 price tag and be like, yep, this is worth $80, we're not lowering the prices, deal with it. And if Nintendo's going to stick with their guns on defending their prices, then it's only fair that us as the consumer defend our wallets and tell Nintendo, no, this is not okay. So your company is going to suffer in sales and you're not going to get our money. So we're going to go to your competitors and we're going to support them instead. Just a wild situation overall, man. And it's just mind blowing to see us get to this point within the game industry. But at this point, man, only time will tell to see if the backlash is severe enough for Nintendo to backtrack and actually listen to the consumers. So, with this being said, thank you everyone for watching and for listening. And until next time, I'm talking about the massive backlash that Nintendo is getting. And I will see you all later.